From a bulky mass of muscle and sesame chicken to a medical scare, implementing lifestyle change to the fitness personality you see today. This week's guest will challenge you and inspire you with his concept of perspective and how you see yourself as we discuss exercise today on Healthy Harmony. Welcome to Healthy Harmony, where we help you clarify and discuss health tactics to harmonize your life. I am your host and health coach, Jennifer Pickett, and today our guest is fitness influencer Gerren Liles. Gerren Liles is a health and fitness professional on a mission to help people become their best selves, inside and out. Gerren has always loved the gym. He describes his former self as a bulky mass of muscle, sesame chicken, and chicken fried rice. It took a scare from his doctor telling him that his blood sugar level had risen dramatically and that a change in lifestyle was necessary to avoid becoming a full-fledged diabetic. He, of course, made those changes and loves to help others do exactly the same. Gerren is the owner of Gerren Liles Vision Fitness. He's a founding trainer for the industry-disrupting Mirror, a master instructor for Equinox Fitness Clubs. He's a consultant, a fitness personality, and he offers private and semi-group training services in Brooklyn and Manhattan and online. Welcome, Gerren. How are you today?
I am very glad to be here. How are you?
I'm really good. So I want to give our listeners just a little bit of a backstory here. So at Christmas, my husband was sweet enough to take like all these numerous hints and give me a mirror for our home gym. Now, I know you'll agree that's no ordinary mirror. It is a workout mirror and it provides access to thousands of classes from cardio to strength to yoga and boxing. It's perfect to find the easy workout. So as I started doing all these classes, I quickly landed on a favorite instructor, and that is Gerren Liles. So today I have to confess, I'm caught between being a little bit starstruck, but also feeling a little nervous that at any given time you're going to yell out burpee. So Gerren, I'm just excited that you're on the phone with us and we get to record together.
Oh, by the way, burpees.
Yeah, dang it.
Give me 20.
Yeah, 20. No big deal. I wouldn't be out of breath at all, right? So I would be remiss. This is such a very, very challenging time, and you live right outside of New York. So considering the pandemic that's going on and the quarantine, tell me how you're doing.
So I am okay. I think right now the industry is going through a shift. Obviously, because of COVID, we have to maintain social distance, and we're an industry that thrives on human interaction and being around people. And so, a number of us have had to transition our work online. Now,
Mhm.
on one hand, I'm doing okay because I do work for a company that provides at-home fitness with the mirror, but then I
Mhm.
don't teach my group fitness classes anymore, and I don't see my private clients, so I've had to shift most of my other business virtually. And thankfully, most of my clients were willing to follow me, and I've built up enough of a goodwill to get recommendations and pick up new clients. So I'm lucky that I'm still working steadily. I know a lot of people are like excited about sleeping till 7 and 8 a.m. During this time, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm still waking up at 5:45 and getting a quick workout in before my 6:30 and 7 a.m. clients. But it's a blessing to still be able to work. But I'm trying to really advocate and help other trainers and instructors and businesses to help them build their own online structures so that we all come out of this period stronger.
I love that. I love that. And that's something that I picked up on very quickly with you. And I think it's one of the reasons why you became my favorite because it just felt like he's not in this mirror thing. He's not online. I just felt like I was in a live class with you. And you have built, but prior to this pandemic, you had built this amazing community where people were interacting and we were able to interact with you and you celebrated with us. So I think it's huge. And what I'm hearing from you is that you took that from being, okay, this is what I do and this is kind of my niche and this is how I help people to, okay, how can I during this crisis time, how can I help other fitness professionals who maybe haven't had that online influence or that availability before. So I love how you've done that. I think that's huge. Huge. Okay, so what are you guys hearing? You live right outside of New York. What are you guys hearing about when you're going to open up and how to proceed within this next month?
So, as you know, New York is the epicenter of the virus here in the US. And our governor originally told us on May 15th, that's when they'll reassess and decide whether to start phasing certain industries to open or to extend the lockdown. I know that for myself and the companies that I work for, we are likely going to extend our sheltering and remaining closed until either our disease experts and the people that we're consulting lets us know the best ways to protect ourselves, the employees, and the members. So we're likely not going to be working until June and beyond, which I completely agree with and support. And I do
Mhm.
want to shout out Equinox, the gym chain that I teach for, because they have really supported us. They've helped us to keep our health insurance, and they're still giving
Wow,
us reduced salary even though we're not working. And rather than going by the arbitrary deadlines from the city, like they're going to take as much time as they need to ensure that everyone's going to remain safe. And
I love that.
so, I'm going to be patient and do what I need to do for myself and my clients until everything opens.
What a good company. I love that they're changing with the times. I reference in your bio that you described your former self as this bulky mass of muscle and chicken fried rice and sesame chicken. So, I want to hear about this former self because that statement really got my attention.
So, Gerren, as a teenager, was very much a nerd and by no means an athlete. And so I wouldn't say I was heavy, but I definitely was not athletic looking. And I needed a gym credit to graduate from high school. So I ended up taking weightlifting. And I always like to say I started to get abs and girls started to like me. And I was like, hey, I can keep this up. And went to college, graduated from college, kept working out, but I only focused on the things that I could see in the mirror, ironically, which was upper body. So I did chest
Mhm.
like all the time. I did no legs, I did no cardio, and my diet, as I said, was absolute crap. Like I would have Chinese food either 2 or 3 meals a day. And at one point, I did balloon to over 200 pounds. Like I kind of peaked at 210. And I basically got a call from my doctor one day after a checkup, and he said that if I didn't change my diet, that I was going to become diabetic. And it runs in my family because
Oh,
I have a Southern family, and they love to eat.
yes, yes,
Family, actually,
very
my
sweet.
grandmother's from Georgia, so but I didn't think that anything could happen to me being so young because I was in my mid 20s. So it was essentially a wake up call that being healthy and being fit is just not about having big muscles and big arms. It's about, having endurance and being leaner and, not running to catch a bus and dying by the time
Yes.
I get it. So I ended up getting a trainer, changed my diet. I lost 20 pounds in 3 months because it was just such a dramatic change. And I was a school teacher at the time. And when I decided years later to change careers, fitness just was so natural for me because I didn't want people to make the same mistakes that I did and take for granted their youth and their health because, things can change in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I love that perspective that I hear, going back to when you're in high school and you're like, "Hey, I mean, I've gotta have 1 PE credit, and so I'll take yeah, sure, I'll take gym," and how you continue to work out throughout college, but just didn't pay attention to anything besides gaining some muscle, in your upper body, and it sounds like you really used that scare from the doctor to kind of propel you forward. Um, it's something else that I think it resonates with me. My family medical history is really scary. So it's kind of that feeling of, man, the cards are stacked against me. So I really need to do something about protecting my health. But Jaron, you're right. When we're young, we're like, I'm good. So fast forward all these years, and now you're this fitness personality. You have helped so many people. So tell me, how has the world of fitness training changed?
Well, it's changed in a number of ways. Number one, I think more people have come to realize the importance and the value of having a healthy lifestyle. And so people are incorporating improving their diet and working out into their routine. And so I think it's helped the world overall to be more productive and to get more out of life. Number
Yes,
two,
definitely.
in the age of social media, people actually have more access to fitness than we might have before. You can just turn on your computer and your smartphone and you can get a workout in or access to fitness professionals. Whereas before, you had to, let's just say, get a DVD, or you could
Yeah,
only
yeah.
go to the gym or VCR tape from, back in my day. So I think fitness is a lot more accessible now, which is an awesome thing. And along with technology, the ability to create communities with each other so that we can hold each other accountable and be inspired. And the one thing that I will say that has been slightly negative is that because fitness is a multi-billion dollar industry, you're going to have
Mhm.
certain companies and businesses that, you know, will give people misinformation in order to drive their business. And
Oh,
sometimes
yes.
it affects, how do you say this? It affects image and self esteem when, certain standards of beauty and fitness are preached, and it's not always the case. I believe that everybody's beautiful and everybody can be fit. And so, one of the things that we do have to work on as an industry is body positivity and giving correct information, even if it means, affecting our financial bottom lines. Because if we can keep people safe and happy, there's really no way that your business can fail.
Just so many really good points there that I really want us to kinda, play off of. First of all, just that we have additional access. We have a lot more, access to, fitness professionals and to workouts, and so first, before we get into the body positivity, because that's gonna be my next question, I really want us to address, the person that even though our access has dramatically improved, for so many folks, and I will include myself in on this, we just have some obstacles to getting it done and getting that exercise in. So, to those folks, how would you recommend getting started? Let's say they've really kind of neglected that aspect of their health, and they're like, you know what? They've had this improper mentality of I've got to run a marathon or I've got to do an hour long class. What would you recommend to those folks on getting started because this has been just too big of an obstacle for them to get over?
So, the first thing that I like to tell people is that if you have a body, you have a gym. So, there's always something that you can do with just your body weight that will get you on the road to being fit. So, you don't need a ton of space. You can do squats, you can do push ups, you can do lunges, you can do sit ups. Like there's always something that you can do with just your body weight that will help to get you started on your fitness routine, get those endorphins flowing, get you sweaty, until you're able to get equipment and instruction that'll kind of take you further along. So that's one of the first things that I would say, is that recognize that you don't have any excuses. Number
Yeah,
two, I think because of technology and media nowadays, we do have immediate access to professionals or workouts or programs. And so you can turn on your smartphone or your computer, hit Google, find a body weight workout. You can download an app. So like there's no better time than now to be able to start. But
you're so right.
as long as you start, and you also have to recognize that it is a journey. Like it took you years and years to have the body that you have now. So it's going to take some time to get the body and the fitness level that you want. So you need to be consistent and you need to be patient. And as I say a lot in my mirror classes, you need to appreciate and acknowledge the small victories. So if you do a 15-minute workout today, that's awesome. If you do a 20-minute
Yeah,
workout, that's great. And if you get so tired that you need to stop, if you work that hard where you need to quit, that's awesome, because fitness is one of the few areas of life where failure equals success. Because when you push
I
yourself
love
to the
that.
limit,
Oh, I love that.
right, when you push yourself to your limit, that's how your body rebuilds and you end up getting stronger. So the harder you work, the more consistent and the more disciplined you are, the more your body rewards you for it with better health and fitness.
It really is. It's so many powerful words there, and I even wrote that down. If you have a body, you have a gym, and I think sometimes it's just the way we approach this, and we're like, "Oh my goodness, I can't, I can't, I can't." But you just there, you made that sound so very simple. Start where you are, push yourself, try to be consistent, and dedicated to just fitting that in, and the time to start is now. And I think too, you really talked about this overall perspective. Sometimes we kind of have this notion of where we want to be, and we think we're going to get there very quickly. And it is. I agree with you. As a health coach, I agree. It is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey. We should constantly be learning and growing and trying to progress and move forward on this journey. So such powerful words there. You referenced something earlier, and it's a really big problem that I see being a dietitian and a health coach and being in this space for over 23 years now. This whole issue of companies trying to sell something and then promoting this image, and people are like, "Oh, that's what I want to look like." And you reference body positivity. So let's talk about that and kind of unpack body positivity and how important that is.
So, number one, we all have to consider our genetics. We are who we are. Some of us, like myself, were born short. Some people are tall, some people are lean, some people are what my family like to call big boned. We are who we are. And I always like to believe that God doesn't make mistakes. And
And you're
so,
so right. I agree with that.
since you are who you are to begin with, I think that you should love it, because there's always something about you to love. Even if there's certain things you want to nitpick, there's always something about that you can love from head to toe. That's number one. Number two, you have to recognize that because we all have different genetics and body types, no one is going to look the same. And your fitness journey is going to have different results for you, as long as ultimately whatever your goal is, whether it's losing weight, whether it's being more fit, appreciate the fact that your body is able to move and do the things that you ask it to do, rather than it not looking like what society says an ideal beautiful person is supposed to. You love your body, you treat it right. It's the only one that you have. And so you take care of it so it can get you through this life and allow you
Yes.
to make the most of it. That's what I try to tell people.
I just love that so much. No one's going to look the same. And God made all of us unique and different. And two, if we just look at exercise as a way to look a certain way to fulfill this image, then I think we're really ignoring the fact that exercise has a lot of other benefits. So, especially right now, let's talk about the importance of movement, of exercise from a stress relief standpoint. Like, give me your thoughts on that.
Oh, absolutely. So when you exercise, it's quite simple. When you exercise, you may like be frustrated or tired in the beginning, but while it happens, it releases these chemicals called endorphins, which are basically like a natural high. And it's like exercise has just been known to boost your mood, and especially when during the workout you're able to maybe do something that you have not been able to do before. And then when you just have a positive mindset and knowing that you're on a journey to reach a better you, and knowing that every rep, every second that your exercise is getting you closer to your goals, it's just an amazing stress reliever. It's just
It really is. It really is. And I like to say I'm easier to live with when I'm exercising. I'm a lot easier to live with, and I'm not kicking kids out of the house, So there's that. But it's astounding what all the research is saying with regard to how stress really affects. Our immune system. And especially right now during this pandemic, I think our immune system is not always a hot topic, but dang, now it is.
all right.
So, how do you think being fit or being active can increase your immunity?
So there's been no specific scientific data point as to how exercise translate to a boosted immune system. Some people say it's because of the toxins that are released when you're sweating and working out and breathing, and then others talk about the temperature, your body's temperature. Like the actual physiological effects are not necessarily confirmed. It's just one of those things that one of those just strange benefits that exercise does. It just
Yeah.
helps you to be more healthy and boost your immune system. If there is an answer, I wish that I knew it personally. I'll find more textbooks that elaborate on that. But
Yes.
exercise is good, is helpful in boosting your immune system.
And I think you're right. It's such a complex picture because our bodies are very complex. And I think what we're seeing is that people who make very conscious efforts to protect their health with what they're putting in from a food perspective, paying attention to things like gut health, stress relief, making sure they're getting enough sleep, making sure they're sweating those toxins out, making sure they're going to the bathroom. I think all of these things paint a picture that is very supportive of overall health and well being, but also supportive of that immune system. So I think it's such a beautifully complex picture, and exercise fits in perfect because of all the tremendous benefits that a lot of people don't think about, whether it's the sweating out those toxins or even going to the bathroom, being regular, which is so important, which is always an interesting topic to discuss with folks, but also getting good sleep at night, right? I mean, there's so many, and of course, the stress relief. So, all of those benefits, I think, just really play into boosting our immune system. And now more than ever, man, we've got to pay attention to our bodies and give our bodies what it needs and just listen a little bit better. And I think you did that a long time ago. You started listening to your body and giving it what it needs. So I guess my last question for you, you've been such a just an open book and so very very encouraging. I think this pandemic crisis has really taken a toll on everybody. So how do you think we're going to recover after this? How can people recover from this from a physical health standpoint and a mental and emotional health standpoint? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, one of the things that I've appreciated about this trying period is that it's put a lot of things in perspective for people. For one, it's made them see, like I said before, how things can change in the blink of an eye and how important being healthy is. Because, as you know, the virus tends to have more severe effects for people that have pre existing conditions. And a lot
Yeah.
of these conditions come through having poor dietary and fitness habits. And so I think it's going to make people appreciate their health and want to take care of it a lot more. Number
Hmm.
two, I think it makes you appreciate the value of time and, not just being healthy, but what you do with your health. So if there are things that you wanted to accomplish in your life, or maybe you have not made time for family, or maybe even you just needed a break because you were working so hard. I know that I definitely fall in that category. Like
Yeah.
I basically feel that this time period has been a wake up call for us to prioritize ourselves, prioritize our health, prioritize our time to make it more meaningful and to create some sort of success and fulfillment. And, the only other thing that I want is for us to come together as a community and as a country because,
Yes.
a lot of times, our solutions and the way that we see and do things tend to fall along political lines. But one of the things that we've learned is that this virus doesn't care about your race, it doesn't care about your gender, it doesn't care about your religion or your ideology. And I
Yeah.
the more we recognize how much we have in common, I think it's going to help us to set aside differences and work together so that we don't just come out stronger of this individually, but as a city and as a country and as a planet.
I could not agree more. I think it's been a forced pause that has made us kind of take a step back and really evaluate our lives. I know, similar to you in the past, I've just been so focused on reaching some goals or moving ahead in life and in business that I've been burning the candle at both ends. And self care suffers when we're burning the candle at both ends. So with this forced pause, I think it's kind of given us a different perspective. So it's time for us to really start paying attention, listening to our body, giving it what it desperately needs. And I agree with you. It's time to come together. It's not going to help us, fighting and backstabbing and just getting heavily embroiled with anger and debate and everything else. It's time to come together and work together and help each other out. And I love how you've done that during this crisis, both with all of us who take your classes online, but also with other fitness trainers. It's truly an inspiration. So I just cannot thank you enough for coming on here today and sharing your perspective with us and just kind of sharing your time and your thoughts. So I want to make sure that our listeners know exactly how they can get in touch with you because I have a feeling we've got some folks that just need a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of help. So, how can they find you?
So my website, basically everything is my name. So my website is my name, Gerren Liles, GerrenLiles.co. My Instagram is my name as well, just at Gerren Liles. My Twitter handle is at Gerren Liles. My email, if you want to email me any questions or inquiries about private training, virtual training, or even virtual class training, you can reach me at Gerren_Liles at yahoo.com. Yes, I still use Yahoo. Um, but that's essentially it. And also on Facebook, it's just my name as well. Everything's my name so that there's no complication.
It's easy. It's easy. So I just appreciate you so much. I know that folks are going to reach out and connect with you so that they can be a part of some of your online classes. I can personally attest, they are absolutely the best. And like I said, you kind of forget that you're online. It just feels like you're right there. So, guys, thank you for listening today. Please remember to subscribe to us on your favorite platform of choice on Facebook, on Instagram, at Inspire Healthy Harmony. You can also join in the discussion on the Facebook page. What is your perspective? What are you challenged with when it comes to movement and exercise? And as always, you can check us out at inspirehealthyharmony.com. So until next time, we are wishing you a healthy and happy day. Please know that our hearts are with you. Bye, y'all.